What's up, everybody? Welcome back. This is Forgo, and since it's no restriction day in ABX, I thought I'd show you guys something that you might find interesting about Wolverine, and that is the fact that this character can actually be used in all of the seasons, whether it's burn, paralyzed, or silence. I mean, even though his silence skill here, he's got to get the counter to get this silence, you still can do it. I've actually made a video about it, and definitely, obviously, with burn, it's very easy with a character that has a bunch of burn skills on him. But what about paralysis season, right? He doesn't have any paralysis in his kit whatsoever. But see, there's a little hidden something about Wolverine that actually still makes him extremely awesome for the paralysis season, even though he doesn't have paralysis. And that's actually his force skill. This is actually the moneymaker for him because it actually gives him the ignore target dodge rate by 40%. And during the paralysis season, whenever the beast roars, he actually increases his dodge. So the more ignore dodge you have, the better. So if you have a character with 100% ignore dodge, no matter if the beast roars or not, like so people will put Cable in the leadership with a CTP of energy and you almost get 100% ignore dodge, you never have to worry about canceling the beast roar. Well, you don't have to do it with this team either. Matter of fact, I know that the optimal team is actually having Sif in there because Sif does have this crazy 35% increase in physical attack leadership. And then along with this new uniform effect, increased attack to boss types by 45%. So she's actually the best leadership. However, my Sif is still being built. She isn't awakened. And I know that the optimal team for a lot of players is going to be Wolverine, Sif, and Valkyrie. And you'll switch between Valkyrie and Sif using their awakened skills and using Wolverine. But what if you don't have the resources to do that? What if you just have Sif? Or what if you just have Hulk here, right? A Red Hulk, who's actually better for me because I actually have a CTB of Insight. The CTB of Insight is the only thing that's really putting him over the edge as far as my damage with Wolverine, and of course the 70% increase to leadership. These are the things that's really helping him out. But I mean, Sif is the better choice in all honesty as far as a leadership. And if I had a CTP of Insight, it would actually be better. But for Female Combat Hero Day, I actually do want to end up building her later on. And yeah, you would get more points for what I'm going to show you today if you had Sif on the team. But another thing that's pretty cool about this team is, like I mentioned earlier about the ignore target dodge rate, about how the beast increases the dodge every time he roars, Valkyrie actually has ignore dodge in her passive as well. So with the 40% ignore dodge from Wolverine and this 30% ignore dodge from Valkyrie, you got 70% ignore dodge all the time. All you have to do is make sure that you play Wolverine correctly so you never have to worry about switching this character. And I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. So a lot of times in our rotations, the way that we play Wolverine is actually we go 3 and then we slam down on the 2 to get the residual damage from the 2, and then we cancel the 4 into the 5. Now this will not work after the beast roars the first time, because whenever the beast roars that first time, he's actually increased his dodge. And the reason this won't work is because when you cancel the 4, you don't get any of that ignore dodge. You don't get it. Whenever he does his force skill, he actually has to do a slash, right, to get that ignore target dodge rate by 5%. So you always want to make sure that you do that slash before you do the fifth skill, which is where you really want your proc, or before you do your tier 3. So the rotation actually looks something like this. You'd go 3, 4, slash, and then you go into the 5. Right? And depending on where the proc is or not, depends on what you should do afterwards. You could take the 2, slam down like this, go back into the 2, then go 3, 4, slash, and then go into the 5th skill. You always want to make sure you slash after the first phase. Sorry about that, has some technical difficulties. But in the first phase, you don't have to worry about doing the slash from the 4. You'll still get the residual damage from the 4 when you just cancel the 4 into the 5. But after the first phase, after that beast roars that first time, then you always want to make sure you do that slash to get the ignore dodge. So, like I said, in the first part of the fight against ABX, it's just going to be 3, slam down with the 2, 4, 5, right? I actually canceled that 4 a little quickly there. And then it's going to be, you're going to win when there's about 2 seconds left on the 5th skill, 3 to 2 seconds left on the 5th skill. You're going to go 3, 2, slam down, 4, 5. And then after that, you're going to let the 5 finish out. You're going to slam the 2 down again, and you're going to go 4, and then cancel into the tier 3. Once the tier 3 plays out, you're just going to do a few slashes. You're going to jump up in the air. When he slams down, go 3, 2, slam down, 4, 5. Okay? That's in the first part of the phase. Now, after the beast does his roar, your rotation changes up shop quite a bit. So now what you're actually going to be doing is, after he does his first roar, you're going to go 3, cancel into the 4, slash, get your ignore dodge, and then go into the 5th skill, okay? Now, depending on where the proc is or not, depends on what you should do after this. If you want, what I try to do a lot of times is I'll try to slam the 2 down then, and then go into the 3-4, slash, and then go into the 5th skill. And then if I can, I'll slam the 2 again, slash with the 4, get the ignore dodge, go into the tier 3. It's just the same thing. It's just it's just the same thing. It's just now you're actually trying to get the slash from the 4th skill, so that way you get that ignore dodge, so that way you can do the most damage. I mean, you're going to have 70% ignore dodge every single time when you do this 4th skill combined with Valkyrie's ignore dodge. So you don't have to switch this character. The scores that I'm putting up right now with the team that I'm using is about the same as I put up during the burn season, because I'm not switching my characters at all. It's actually relatively simple as far as the builds, guys. He's got 47,000 physical attack. He's got max attack stats. He has, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 Odin's Blessings. Then his other physical attack gurus are 6-star. He's got a fully awakened Power Brain Real Sip. And we are rocking the CTP at Rage. And I got to tell you, man, having the Rage on Wolverine has actually been pretty awesome in ABX because of his passive with the guaranteed critical rate. And because he's got the extra critical damage, it's just easy to max out his stats. The guaranteed critical rate, man, he procs really, really easy. He does a lot of hits. The Rage proc works really, really well with his character, and his uniform is actually at Mythic. So let me go ahead and pull up the run for you guys, and I'll show you what's up here. So check this out. So like in the first part of this phase, we're going to do the 3, we're going to do the 2, we're going to slam the 2 down. Then we're going to we're going to cancel the 4 straight into the 5. So 3, 2, slam down, 4, cancel into the 5. Right? We're not doing the slash from the 4 because we don't need to. We don't need to use our ignore dodge from the 4th skill because we already have, the beast isn't dodging any of our attacks right now at all. It isn't until he does his first roar, which at about 1 minute and 8 seconds, or I'm sorry, 2 minutes and 8 seconds, when he'll actually start ignoring us or start dodging our attacks. Man, look at Wolverine go. Look at him go. And the beautiful thing about doing it this way is maybe it's not the most optimal. Maybe you're not going to get the most damage, especially if you have an awakened Sith, a built-up Sith. But a lot of players like myself even, we don't have Sith leveled up. We don't have the resources. And so this works out really, really well. I mean, Captain America also has paralysis in his kit. So, I mean, if you really want to, you could just use Captain America instead, right? That'd be a much cheaper option than Wolverine. But Wolverine's been in the game for a long time. A lot of people have him, and more than likely are probably going to have this uniform because he's a very beloved character. And they're trying to get the most out of this character. And I mean, he can use them in every single season. It's just during silence, you got to be careful about clearing out mobs before the beast does his roar, so that way you can get the counter from the silence from the 3rd skill. And here, you just got to make sure you do the slash from the 4th skill before you do your tier 3, before you go into your 5th skill. That way you're always going to have 70% ignore dodge no matter what. That way the beast isn't dodging your attacks. And as you guys can see, Wolverine's doing wonderful, right? I usually get about 9 million, a little over 9 million during the burn season, which he has multiple skills where you can cancel the beast roar. And he's going to be the same thing right here, right? I hit the 3-4, do the slash, go into the 5th skill, right? We got about a second left on the proc. I just canceled the 1 and the 2. There we go. Do the slash and go into the tier 3. You just got to make sure you do that slash from the 4th skill and you'll be good to go. And actually, it's pretty awesome. He might not be the greatest in World Boss, but man, he really is king when it comes to this. And the fact that I know that I can use this character without ever having to switch him in any of these seasons is actually pretty awesome, man. It really is. Again, maybe it's not the best way. Maybe it's not the best team. You probably could do more if you were using Sif, had her awakened, had her built up. You're switching between her and Valkyrie and Wolverine. But, for a lot of us, maybe we don't want to switch our characters, right? The rewards in ABX really aren't the greatest. So unless you're super competitive, those little tidbits of extra damage aren't really going to matter so much to you. They're not really going to matter so much to me. I mean, I always want to do the best I can. But I also want to I just want to make it fun as always, right? We play ABX all the time, and the only way for me to make this even more fun is always just to play with Wolverine, right? Because he's my guy. He's my guy, right? And look at this. We're going to hit 9 million, right? We hit 9 million during the paralysis season with no paralysis, with never switching our character at all, because of the ignore dodge that Wolverine has on his fourth skill. It's pretty awesome, man. It's pretty awesome. And I think this is something that people actually forget about when it comes to Wolverine. They're like, oh, he doesn't have paralysis. It's like, okay, yeah, he doesn't have paralysis. But with Valkyrie and with the ignore dodge from his fourth skill, he's always going to have 70% ignore dodge. The beast isn't going to be dodging a lot of his attacks, only 30% of the time. So he still can put out some serious damage, as you all saw. So let me know how y'all feeling about Wolverine getting it done against the paralysis season. And I do stream on Twitch at 9 p.m. GMT plus 7 time. The link is in the description below. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one. See ya.